Hey, welcome to another episode of the Black Guy Tuss podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my brilliant co-host,
Oh,
and
Karen.
we are live on Monday, ready to do some podcasts and just show note. Probably won't be a show tomorrow. Got some plans, got some stuff I got to do. And then we also before the show went live got like a thing on Crowdcast that was like you reached your 40-hour limit or whatever, which we've never gotten before in all the years that we've been doing this. And so I think they're changing like pricing and limits and all this stuff for the the streaming service, which is fine, but we didn't get a heads up.
Look,
So we didn't we almost didn't do a show today because I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do. But so depending on how that works out, we may or may not have to switch streaming platforms. We'll let you guys know because
yeah.
I know we are prolific users of whatever we go, and
Mhm.
our stuff can take a couple hours or more just for like one episode, and we do 4 or 5 a week, not counting the behind the paywall stuff. So
Right.
it could be a bit of a to do. So we'll see what happens with that, everybody. Just letting you know, so y'all won't be, too shocked if we have to switch.
Mhm.
The official weapon of the show is
The taser.
an unofficial sport. And
Football.
bullet ball, extreme, 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 extreme. Lots of stuff to talk about today. We could start anywhere, just about. Guess we can start with some music for the news though. And then we'll get into the show. Let me pick what to play this with. Let's see. All right. Nice smooth beat. News. Cardi B to seize $9,000 from Tasha K in her ongoing efforts to collect $3 million. Now Tasha K say she ain't got it. And the thing for me is if you ain't got it, that's even more reason you shouldn't fuck around.
And truth be told, you ain't never have it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know, that's the truth.
it's one of those things where like you might think you ain't got nothing to lose, but when you definitely ain't got 3 million and somebody takes 9K, you gonna feel that.
Ooh,
You gonna
that's
feel that.
that's a third of somebody's whole annual income for the whole year, my nigga.
Yeah. So good luck to her. You know what I'm saying? It's Cardi is and her people is trying to recoup that stuff. They put subpoenas to her bank and Google.
Yeah, and all jokes aside, it was one of those things where you showed your ass so bad that Cardi was like, fuck it, I'll take you to trial. And
Yeah.
then when she won, she was like, no, 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 no. I want all my motherfucking dimes just for
Or
the
all I
hassle that
not
you.
even all my dimes. I want all
Oh,
your dimes because you ain't got the dimes that you owe me. But I'm gonna take whatever I can get because fuck you.
right, because we didn't have to be here. Like
Yeah.
all I basically wanted was an apology, and you took it down, and you just was like, yeah, fuck you, ah, okay, fuck me, okay, okay,
And
cool,
I
cool.
think this is also the difference between like these bloggers and personalities and journalism. Like a lot of people play around in the journalistic news space, but they're not that. They're just opinion givers. And a lot of people don't understand legally, you can't have opinions that are facts that you're posing as facts that are lies. Like you can't have the opinion she worked as Cardi B worked as an escort. She had an STD and used hard drugs, and you can't prove it.
Right.
Like I think what she thought was that well, Cardi won't like try to disprove it. I'm just another person talking shit, and it's like nah, actually you not. And people, I know some people try to turn because they do this with every time a person of a marginalized identity fucks up. It's always just why they got to go after him. I'm telling you right now, other outlets that have stuff like editors, lawyers, fact checkers, they're not saying shit like this.
Right, because it runs
So
through people.
all that like TMZ say the same stuff. They actually don't.
Mm-mm.
Like Like if you look at the way they couch the things they say, even when there's speculation,
and how they phrase
rumor, a source close to the person, like it's never just she got AIDS or whatever the fuck, and now look at you, you know. So that's just wild, and you know, good luck to Cardi getting her money. Let's see what else has happened. Young Thug files for bond yet again. Claims he can't stay healthy in jail due to the food having zero health benefits. Now he's on trial for the RICO. Him and the YSL boys, and they've been having all kinds of shenanigans in courts. Lawyers have gotten arrested.
Oh shit!
Drugs have been exchanged in the courtroom.
Oh, that's that dude.
Yes. You would know Young Thug from. I know you always say you don't know who he is, but Young Thug from a million of our episodes, you've asked who he is, and I always play the song "Lifestyle."
Oh, lifestyle. Yes.
Yes, that's him. He's been in court every day, staying out of the drama, and now he's seeking bond once again. According to 11 Alive, his lawyer, Brian Steele, claims the artist is languishing in county jail due to a poor diet. I feel like you need a stronger word than languishing if you want to get out of jail for the shit he did. Like, you're going to need suffering,
distress,
dying. You like, it's going to have to be a strong word. Like, languishing sounds like you just need a fainting couch. Like, languishing sounds
like you got a thesaurus. It was like, let me look up a big word.
Languishing sounds like what Blanche Devereaux does on Golden Girls.
Yeah, she languishes.
You know, like I was languishing in the hot summer. Like that's how languishing sounds to me. Languishing doesn't sound. It's not what you're saying. Steele also claims there are zero healthy benefits to the food options in jail.
No shit, nigga, you in jail. You sound like the white people that got locked up with the Capitol. Walked in there and be like, y'all ain't got no sushi? No, bitch, it's jail. No, we would have it, but y'all think when you go to jail, don't nobody need nothing, and you go to jail and just fuck you. So we just give you the bare minimum. That's why you don't get the best of the best in jail.
The lawyer also added that Thugger's limited time outdoors is also affecting his health. By the end of the week, Mr. Williams was fighting to pay attention to the going on in his case. Steele said in his bond request, Steele would like Thug to be bonded out, saying conditions can be imposed which permit bond to be set.
And the thing is, it affects you. What about the other people there? It should affect them too. They not as famous and can't put it publicly out, but this should impact everybody in jail.
Not my fault they can't afford a lawyer. Listen, if I'm Thug, if I'm in the same situation, guilty or innocent, and I have the lawyer and the people to do it, I'm sure I'd be requesting bond. Like, oh, the shoes in here, the soles of them is uneven. Oh, the bathroom handle, you got to jiggle it. Like, I need to go home. I don't blame him.
I don't blame him
but
either.
I just also don't think the judge is gonna let this shit slide. Let's see. Coi Leray. Do you know who she is?
Mm-mm.
She is a young 25-year-old up and coming rapper.
Okay.
She recently had a conversation with Apple Music One's Eddie Francis. And she opened up about being body shamed for her petite frame, knowing that she can handle the mental stressors that come with it. And like I follow her on the gram, and it is interesting because if you go into her comments, she is always getting body shamed. Now she's at 7.4 million followers. She's like she twerks, she does all the stuff that a lot of other rappers do, but then in the comments there's a lot of like talking about how skinny she is compared to the other girls that are rapping, because everybody's either got like the BBL or like they're thick, like Megan or something, and it's like their body is considered the in body compared to her. Now that being said, you go with those women's comments, and I guarantee you got some people saying stuff about their bodies.
Yes, and probably saying the opposite.
Right. So she said, I'm prepared for whatever. Honestly, I've dealt with the body shaming situation honestly my whole entire career. shout out to all the slim women out there. I feel like I actually paved the way in the music industry for a slim woman to just finally be accepted. Honestly, after a very long time, I'm talking since Maya and the Left Eye days. Now she may be, she's 25, and
Right.
I don't know that she's paved the way, quote unquote, in the way of like, because I already seen people trying to like debunk what she's saying to be like, Whitney Houston. I'm like, she's 25. I don't think she means literally there were no skinny women before her. I
Right.
think in within our lifetimes, the paradigm shifted for women rappers specifically,
Mm-hmm.
but just kind of women celebrities in general. And it is more, like the body modifications and surgeries people get now are to thicken up, not to lose weight,
Mm-hmm.
for all the time.
All right. And years ago was almost the opposite, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, like you were saying, almost opposite. And it is one of those things where, it's misogyny ran amok.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't want to admit, men and women and just everybody across the board.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have body issues. Like they internalize things. Just talking to people, like you talk to people that are tall, because I've talked to tall people and they'll be like, I wish my feet were smaller, or I wish I wasn't as tall, and things like that. And it's like, everybody wants what they don't have, instead of just being comfortable in their own skin and just accepting, whatever their body is. And I think
and it's also though not just accepting what your body is, it's people talking about it. It's not just like when you're in the public eye, it's people commenting on your body and giving their opinions and all that stuff. You may feel more that you may feel comfortable, but it's another level of comfort you have to reach when motherfuckers are commenting on you.
Yes, and they're consistently throwing things at you. You too skinny, you too fat, you too light, you too dark. Why don't you have bigger titties? Why don't you got a bigger ass? Just from the simple things, from your nose to you getting your teeth fixed, like just the most mundane shit that actually don't matter, but people actually project, because for a lot of people they have things wrong internally, and instead of them addressing these things, they rather project on you and make you feel bad and have mental breakdowns and go off and act the fool online, and then just laugh at you, because that keeps them distracted from whatever it is in life they don't want to look at.
Yeah, and this is her IG. You can see like she's skinny. It's not like some abnormal thing or anything. Like no one's questioning her health or whatever, and she's just doing her thing, like rapping. She always having fun. She's still,
Yeah, she's small like one of my cousins. One of my cousins, she's in her 30s, and she has literally been small like that. She's had like 3 kids, and every time she has a kid, she literally drops back down to like 100 something pounds almost instantly. And
I think,
that's just how her body's made.
yeah, and I think it's interesting because what happens is we have a hierarchy of acceptance and a hierarchy of who's the most discriminated against. So it's hard for people to accept that sometimes things cut both ways. It doesn't mean it's equal. It doesn't mean it's the same. In a lot of spaces, she's gonna be the more acceptable person by the Eurocentric beauty standards of the world and of America and all the people with power. But in this particular lane, yeah, she does experience some pushback, and it's just the same. It's the same branch of misogyny that the dark skinned women experience, that the bigger women experience, that your more masculine presenting or dressing women experience. Like it's all the same. Like you're a woman, we want to control your body. You looking a little too free over there, and we don't like it.
That's what it is. And the thing is, what I've realized, particularly the older I get, the more confident you are, the more self-loving you are, the more like I don't give a fuck about what y'all say, the more people have to say about you. And this includes families and friends and the people closest around you too, because sometimes they'll cut the hardest because they're the closest. And it's also one of them things where sometimes you have to set people straight and put them in their place. Even family members be like, hey, what we not gonna do is this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more talking about I agree, but I'm more talking about just her as the industry. I don't know her personal life like that. She says, I'm prepared for whatever. Honestly, I've dealt with the body shaming situation honestly my whole career. She added, and it's something important you talk about. It's something very important you talk about. I wake up every day and say, I love my body. I don't give a fuck. When I put my clothes on, I'm not saying, yo, I'm gonna put this on to troll. I'm putting it on because I love to look good. I love to feel good. And that's what I personally genuinely love to wear and like. And when they make it about my body, it's just ongoing. This gets old after a while. It really does. Honestly, you could take that same quote and say Lizzo said it, and it's honest to me. It's the same like search for freedom and the same like revolutionary spirit of like I don't give a fuck if y'all gonna just like denigrate me. You can't stop me from loving myself, and this is what me loving myself looks like right now. So stay the fuck away from me.
Agreed.
But yeah, I guess apparently her fellow rapper Lotto had put out a song, put it on the floor, and uh I'm sorry, Leray had put out a line calling out Big Lotto with her song Put It on the Floor. Smoking on that gas, blunt big as Coi Leray reads the bar that she took issue with. Lotto, bye. Here you go, talking about my body shit initially tweeted. Please do not. Okay, so Lotto said that about Coi Leray. Please do not come on here and talk about nobody's body. LOL, like seriously, out of all things. Laugh my ass off. Yo, blunt my size, laugh my ass off. This shit is never ending. She later admitted she may have overreacted to the line, with Lotto attempting to clear things up by shouting out Corey during her second Coachella performance. Well, I'm glad they cleared that up because honestly, I personally, this is a personal preference. I'm enjoying this era of like women rappers that fuck with each other.
Yes, that there can only be one. That shit gets old.
Yeah, like it was bad enough when you had men choosing winners and losers based on like the companies and the rappers that took women under their wings, and some of them even propping up women that weren't really even rappers. It's just like I'm gonna write all your bars and then you just perform them and I get all the money. And the agency that these women have, the control over their own careers, the lack of attachment to men, like it's so fucking dope to me that and in this era, after Nicki Minaj, because I don't know that I wouldn't count Nicki as necessarily part of this because she often feels the need to like poke these other women rappers in ways that can be very, off-putting. But the post Nicki Minaj era of all these women working together and getting along is so fucking cool.
Yes, and also it's one of those things this is why some men, particularly men of like your age and shit, a lot of them, some have all these wild opinions about the women rappers because they don't have to go through them anymore. Because of the internet, they can actually do their own thing, start their own base, not be attached to a man. And a lot of men feel away about that because they are used to shit just running through them. Why don't y'all come to me and get my blessing? Nigga, nobody needs your blessing. I can literally do my own thing.
And the thing is, that camaraderie is natural. Like it's not forced at all. Like only a crazy person would think that. Because they have so much control over their careers. They're like hanging out with each other, not just rap. They're collaborating with each other. It doesn't mean there's some idealistic view where nobody dislikes each other. No one ever gonna shoot a bar at somebody. It's gonna happen because that's what all people do. But these people are like, these women are legitimately like fucking with each other, being on each other's tracks. When you see like, and like when a new one comes in, it's not this like beat down of like who said she could be popular, because that's what used to happen. And it was insane. Like it was like a new woman coming in, we gotta jump in her shit. And it's cool to be able to see like people be like, no, Glorilla, let's get on the track. And now you got Cardi with Glorilla or something. Like, when you seeing remixes and everybody's on it, we haven't seen that shit since I Want to Be Down. We had like a fucking 30-year drought of women rappers. One, there being multiple ones, but then two, they can actually fuck with each other. And it is different and it is new and it's not forced and it's not just bullshit. And it makes me feel like when left to their own devices, a lot of times, when it's not like an industry forcing this who gonna be the top rapper, it can be a lot better. Low key, the men started kind of doing that. Like people don't even really talk about this shit, but it used to be who's the king of New York. No one even says that anymore.
No, they do not.
Like that, like it doesn't like if they all think it or none of them think it, no one gives a fuck. It's just like, man, work with who you work with. You know, the main things that like male rappers get into now is real beef, like real crime beef, like motherfuckers killing each other. But it's not just some like I gotta show you commercially that I'm the number one rapper from Chicago. It's more like I'm the number one gangster from Chicago. I'll kill your ass. But it's not the rap thing. Like
Right.
Drake even beefs with Pusha T or whatever, and still you got all these motherfuckers collabing. Like if honestly, I think the biggest beefs in rap have been basically Drake for the last how many years.
Yep.
You know, like the men are the new women. If you think about it.
Yeah, when you think about that, yeah. And particularly them two, they just go at each other with bars, basically.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just interesting, man. I'm enjoying this time, and I'm glad that and like I said, I think what people do is they'll try to discredit what she's saying by being like, oh, so she's saying skinny women have it as hard as big. It's like no one said that.
That's that projection.
Someone said on my Facebook page, I forget who it was, but she said, as a big girl, these kind of comments used to bother me, but then I realized I'm projecting onto her. And all of it is misogyny, and she just dealing with it too. Yes. And she's living her life dealing with her issues. I'm living mine dealing with mine. As long as we're not shitting on each other, then we're cool.
Right.
Like, and that's one of my issues with so many of the discussions people want to have in different forms is they don't know the difference between allowing someone to tell their story or trying to dominate and have the only story. They don't know the difference.
Oh, there's a difference.
And because they don't know the difference, I'm not attracted to those conversations. Mm-hmm. Like one of the reasons we don't talk about colorism on the show is I'm not attracted to the conversation where we want to mute one person and turn them into a white person for the purposes of our discussion. No, I want you to be a human, because only on a human level can we relate to each other. I don't want to dominate you. Right. I would like us to have an exchange. Even if you're gonna say something that may go against what I'm saying, I need that, because you can't relate if you're silenced. If not, people just have resentment when they're silenced. And we oversimplify shit to, it's like in this conversation, skinny people would be the white people. In colorist conversation, light skinned people would be the white people. It's like it doesn't always work 100% like that, and it's okay to talk about the nuances of that. You don't lose any zip off of your point. You don't lose any place on the hierarchy of oppression to me to be like, yo, sometimes in rap, skinny women getting shitted on, and dark skinned women are getting shitted on, and bigger women are getting shitted on, and it happens more often to dark skinned and bigger women, but it doesn't not happen to other people,
And it's also, one of those things where sometimes people want to be a part of a conversation sometimes, regardless of if they've experienced the thing or not. And then they make the thing about them regardless of if the foundation of what they're saying is valid or not. Because like you say, they have to make it the event about them. Because over the years, I've just learned an event happens, and including myself too, I'm not above it. Everybody takes the event and turns it around to be like, how can I make this about me? And then off to the races.
Yeah, I think that's how we all do it. Mm-hmm. But then we don't really respect that other people do it. Like, right, they can only really discuss their lived experience without hijacking yours or doing some pity party shit. And I don't want that. I personally don't want the pity. I would like a conversation, but I don't want the looking down on me version of the conversation. I like a genuine conversation. If it gets a little ugly, it gets a little hard for people to handle the truth of it, that's fine. But I don't think anything comes of like basically dismissing people from a conversation just because they're saying something about their hardships. That's right. That's what I find happening a lot.
Agreed.
Miguel Nunez Jr. says a Juwanna Mann sequel is coming, and Draymond Green wants to roll.
Juwanna Mann, boy, they gonna have to change some shit, boy.
Okay, so start with this. Twitter doesn't like anything, so they're not gonna like even the idea of this movie. let alone they don't even need to know if it's good or not.
Right.
The fact that it's even could happen, it means it's getting shitted on. Just we can just start there. So let's just take them out of discussion because we know for a fact there's nothing they can make about they Juwanna Mann 2. That they haven't even seen Juwanna Mann 1. They just know the
Yeah,
plot.
that shit's 20-something years old, probably
Yeah,
30.
21
Yeah.
years old. Now we did see this movie, or at least I did.
Did we go see it in the theaters?
I did for sure
Yeah.
because as I've told y'all before, Bossy Sports and stuff, I played basketball with some of the extras from this movie who were the WNBA players that made up his team.
They was from the Sting, wouldn't they?
No, they were no, they weren't. They weren't like like they were Seattle Storm at the time.
Okay.
Some of them came from overseas, but I played with some of these women and they came to the local YMCA, Harris YMCA. My dad came that day, and who never comes to the YMCA, but I was like, if you want to run, you don't have to go to the park. Come out here, play with me. And so, I signed up to play ball with my dad. Now I know my dad can shoot. He always can shoot, always could shoot my whole life. So I knew we had a knockdown shooter. And then it was so crowded, you kind of just signed a list at the time and you played with who you played with. And my dad also is a busy man. He ain't gonna be there all fucking night playing basketball. So it was one of those things where it's like my dad signed up and I signed up. And then all these people saw these 3 women sign on the list and they just moved their names down because they didn't want to play with women. And so it ends up pushing me and my dad up. So it's me, my dad.
Okay, so y'all go up because they went down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and my dad and 3 WNBA players, basically. 3 professional basketball players that were women. And we kicked so much ass that day. We didn't lose a game. Them women were killing. My dad, of course, is knocking down the threes. I'm dribbling the ball. It's like I wasn't even really having to be in the paint. Like one of the women on our team was almost 7 feet tall. She was hitting fucking hook shots and shit on these niggas.
I wish I could have seen that.
And I mean, and because of the way they did the list, we ended up beating all them people that refused to play with us. So I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for Juwanna Mann because it's to me, I can't be unbiased. It was like a personal, like dope thing. And then as a movie, it's not as problematic as people think. I already know what people are thinking it is, and it's actually a movie with a little bit of heart and like uplifting and and it like kind of all comes together at the end. But it's still it's one of those movies where I'm like, who greenlit it in 2023?
Right.
Where I'm like, now it could be if they do it right and smart, it could be really good.
That's what I said. It could be good. Yes.
Like I think this is like what's wrong with a lot of people is that they talk about comedy, but they don't like comedy.
Right.
And they don't see the importance of comedy and the depth of it. I'm not saying this is what will happen, but a smart writer can write a movie where you're actually talking about inclusion, the rights of trans people, how silly the way we treat gender is in the first fucking place. In the first movie, he really gets his eyes awakened to just how hard it is to be a woman because he was taking so much shit for granted as a rich, like basketball playing man. So it is like one of those, it could be good. I'm not saying it will be good, but it could be fun in some ways. We'll see what happens with this, but the idea of like including more current NBA guys is funny. Is Juwanna Mann in this? She gonna have to be old. She over 20 years older than the first film.
Yeah, not unless you're going her grandbaby.
I think you got to do almost like some fucking like have her and Uncle Drew play together. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Go get all the old basketball players and play for the kids center.
Now I watch that.
Play for go straight 80s with it and play for the rec center.
Yes.
They always used to have like some landlords or some profiteering gentrifiers come in and they'd be like,
and let that be the problem.
I'm tearing down the kids center and building a drug house.
No, you ain't. And then they play basketball and win some prize money. Yes.
Right. One game,
for it all.
I'll let you play, but only if you get Juwanna Mann. It's like, we haven't seen Juwanna Mann in decades.
I know Juwanna Mann be done retired and shit.
Yeah, I think Juwanna Mann got exposed at the end of the first film. I don't know what it was, a prequel. Anyway, I'm surprised that they want to do it. I'll tell you another surprise. Smokey Robinson claims he and Diana Ross had a year-long affair during his marriage, and it was beautiful.
I bet it was.
What
is that why he put out that hot thing
gasms?
Yeah, thing he got happening right now.
He's 83. I feel like him and like Quincy, I feel like older black men they just get into an age where they like, fuck it, I'm telling it all.
Right. It don't matter no way.
I'm almost out this joint. Let me go ahead and tell y'all how your boy used
be
to
like,
get
y'all
down.
tell everything. We ain't had no books and audio books and all that shit and podcasts to tell our shit. So all our shit is new.
At this point, we lucky that Harry Belafonte ain't tell us he was fucking Angela Davis or some shit.
You know,
like Harry died with dignity. Who knows what secrets he kept to the grave?
Ooh, who knows?
That was a handsome, famous man back in the day.
Come on, he was getting all that thing.
He could have been running through the Black Panthers. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, he Smokey Robinson was talking. He's opened up about a year-long affair he had with Diana Ross during his first marriage to Claudette Rogers. When asked in an interview with The Guardian whether he and Ross ever had a thing, he replies, "Yes, we did, and it lasted for about a year. I was married at the time. We were working together. It just happened, but it was beautiful. She was a beautiful lady, and I love her right till today. She's one of my closest people. She was young and trying to get her career together. I was trying to help her. I brought her to Motown. In fact, I wasn't going after her. She wasn't going after me. It just happened." Yeah, I think I shared this on Facebook, and Jail Cover said Hotown.
Was he thinking about her with them gasms?
I guess so. He was cruising for a bruising from his first wife. After we'd been seeing each other for a while, Diana said to me she couldn't do that because she knew Claudette and she knew I still loved my wife. And I did. I love my wife very much. I hear you, man. Sometimes you love your wife and you just got to have a year-long affair. And it's like, hey, this don't mean I don't love her, though. Come on now. He said, they say, there was a rumor that he's Tracy Ellis Ross's daddy. He said, "They say I'm the baby daddy." He exclaimed, his voice rising.
I'm the baby daddy.
Giving way to a laugh. They say Diana Ross and I had Michael. Oh my God, I never heard that one before. Oh wait, not Tracy Ellis Ross. What is it, Michael Jackson? Oh, people say they're the biological parents of Michael Jackson. Okay, all right, Hoteps. It's enough. It's enough.
You know
Reddit.
That's Hotep Central.
It's enough Reddit for you. This is the one good thing about the pandemic. We lost the community of the barbershop, and the barbershop is where these rumors used to start.
Yeah, okay? now they on Reddit.
Next thing you know, Tommy Hilfiger calling people nigger, and you just like on Oprah, and you just like, when did this happen?
I know. BK was made by the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, this is how it happened.
Them pump it up shoes.
He's like, the kid is not my son. Okay. So yeah, he asked if there was anything on his bucket list. He said he liked to be in a movie and make a good movie, and he liked to be a character in a good movie. So there you go. It's Smokey Robinson. Well, all the Smokey Robinson. He's out here just spreading everybody's
smoke.
business. Yeah,
he blowing the smoke.
God damn. He's like, I ain't keeping nothing to myself. These secrets got to come out.
I ain't got nothing to lose. Y'all ain't gonna get a tell-all book, so I'm just gonna tell it.
Tell you who else? Everybody was in their business yesterday. And this will kind of surprise me because I don't be keeping up with this man. Brian McKnight.
What about Brian McKnight?
Apparently he has some drama brewing because he has a son, Brian McKnight Jr., right? That's his oldest son from his first marriage, I believe, or previous marriage.
That's his first son. It's done grown. Yeah.
And I think it's like a black wife situation. Like that was his black wife. Well, now I guess he has a new woman in his life and some new kids. And he named his new kid Brian McKnight.
Okay.
So his older kid is Brian McKnight Jr.
Oh,
Yeah. Now maybe it's like some George Foreman thing, but he forgot to put the numbers.
number
You
two,
know, maybe
number
forgot to
three,
put George. Maybe forgot to put Brian McKnight the third. I don't know.
yeah.
Because I didn't know he had no drama going on in his personal life like that. Um, so I just learned that Brian McKnight named his newborn son Brian McKnight. He has an adult son named Brian McKnight Jr. This man's diabolical. Someone quote tweeted and said, "I guess he started back at one."
Apparently so. Did it reset?
Well, you know that was a song he made. Started back at one.
Ah.
Yeah.
So he just had like a brand new baby.
Yeah. With his new family.
He older than us. Wow.
Yeah.
Starting all over again.
So then now this is like some Twitter gossipy shit. So I don't truly know how fact and source check this is, but this is the tweet that started it. Brian McKnight, this all his biological kids his named his new son Brian, my namesake, but his eldest son Brian McKnight Jr. This has gotten so messy, and this is from the Kempire.
Internet is now dragging singer Brian McKnight after he named his child Brian. Well, here's the thing. He already has another son that he doesn't have a relationship with anymore by the same name, Brian. It's so crazy how certain things get trending. He posted this back in January of this year, giving praise to his new son that he has with his new wife.
Now, this is interesting because this is something I talk about all the time, and I can feel the contrarian in me bubbling up, but he did this in January, and y'all just now getting mad about it in May? I just feel a little bit like
y'all didn't have
here we go.
Was nothing else to do, style. Nothing else.
It feel a little forced. Like somebody was like, "Oh God, they won't stop tweeting about the NBA games."
Let me find something else to talk about.
Let's talk about how Brian McKnight ain't shit.
And then it was off to the races.
Yeah, I don't know about. I didn't know he didn't have a relationship with his older son or whatever. So that all this is news to me. But I'm just already feeling this like I'm not getting outraged over this.
Which led people to kind of dig up old stories about Brian McKnight and how he left his old families behind. You can pause the video to read the full statement. However, it's the second paragraph where he talks about the child. It says, "The legacy of that love, my namesake and my joy, my baby boy, you." He has a son, Brian McKnight Jr. This is Brian McKnight Jr. He's also a singer. And you can always count on Twitter to break down how the situation unfolded. So Brian McKnight was married to Julie McKnight, had two sons, Brian Jr. and Nico, with her, cheated on her with Patricia Driver, and had a daughter, Juwanna McKnight, who Julie treated like her own, disowned all of them, got a new wife and stepkids, and didn't look back, allegedly. So the streets have been talking to Brian.
Allegedly's doing a lot of work. I do wonder about the whole disowning, doesn't have a relationship, because those are things that I wonder what the evidence of that is. Because normally, if you have evidence of that, you try to show your work and be like, it's like how they did Kirk Franklin, and then they jumped to his shit, and then you find out like, oh, his son has some mental health issues, and some of this stuff isn't true, and it's them trying to help him and being like, these are the situations in which we will deal with you, but you can't just be, it's Britney Spears, all this shit where it's personal, but then it becomes public, and then we start weighing in like we know everything. And I want to admit I don't.
I know. I actually don't care a lot of times.
Yeah, Brian McKnight's defenders pointed out that celebs like George Foreman and Boys and Men's Wanya Morris named multiple children after themselves, but it still doesn't explain the over-the-top captions and make it seem like he never had a wife or kid before marrying his current wife, Leilani.
Yeah, how do they get all that from these statements? Like I said,
it's a little that Chris Prattness. If you don't like somebody and then you want to make it sinister.
Yeah, I'm like, where are these connections that y'all claiming?
Yeah, I mean, because I low-key could see somebody, like if my son is grown and I just had a new baby, I might not be mentioning my other kids in it. I don't think, I can see it being like either an oversight or just a like, this post isn't about them. It's nothing animosity towards them, but anyway, it's like whenever I do my annual anniversary post to Karen, I have to mention all my ex-girlfriends, just to
What?
Keep them
Just to
all.
let them know.
Don't want nobody to feel left out. I'm just kidding.
Everybody got to be included, apparently.
Let's see. Many thought the post laid it on too thick to be anything but deliberate shade towards his family. Social media also suggested the singer confirmed the trolling by swiftly deleting the lengthy captions and limiting the comments. Well, I mean, yeah, after everyone jumps in your comments and starts accusing you of doing some shit, you are gonna change it. What the fuck? That's the thing. You can't use his reaction to y'all jumping in his shit as proof that y'all was right.
Right.
See, why would he limit the comments? I don't know. Y'all were calling him a deadbeat bastard that left his family. If it's not true, you still want to mute the comments.
Right.
But yes. So then people turned it into he must hate black people and his black children because they're black. Which I'm gonna be honest, I was looking for the proof. I think it was just so many people were making the joke that it just became true to these niggas like they were watching Fox News. Because I didn't see anything where he said some like anti-black shit or said something about he don't want black children or something like that. So I don't know. It was just kind of crazy how it was going off.
I don't see it either.
Another Twitter user already spotted that his bio only acknowledged his children with Leilani, even though they're not all biologically his.
They be digging for shit, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, I heard he went to the bathroom one time and slammed the door in that baby's face, and so from what I heard, he don't give a damn about that baby or the baby's mama. What?
Right. They wouldn't find the proof. Hold on. This is getting messy. Men keep responding saying he just wants to have all his sons named after him. I believe that if he listed his other biological sons in his IG bio, he disowned his biological daughter too.
How are we just making these statements without facts?
Are they saying he disowned them? I really don't know that much about this. It would seem like pertinent to go find where those kids said that, just because it seemed like important to the point you're making. Is it weird for Brian McKnight to claim he cut off his children because they're grown, yet he bought his stepdaughter, who was older than his biological daughter, a BMW for her birthday, then posted that his stepdaughter was the best daughter ever? Okay, well, you know what? What if his original kids had bad vibes? Y'all ever think about that?
Yeah, a lot of people, they were like, nigga, you grown.
Maybe them babies was on Southwest crying and he knew what was up back then. This is crazy. Because honestly, like, look at Brian McKnight being intentionally nasty and antagonistic towards his biological children. No relationship, fine, I guess, but to have these IG captions about his new wife's grown children who aren't his and his half black child being the perfect kid he always wanted, evil. I really feel like this is a sign you be on the internet too much.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
It went from like, maybe this is weird to, we should look into that, to this man purposely had a half racial baby because he hated his black skin.
And as time goes on, the rumors gonna get worse and worse and worse.
Oh my God, look at this. Even if Brian McKnight is estranged with his bio kids, this shit is sick. It screams emotional abuse.
Yep, yeah, we got the words for shit now.
Oh my God. Oh, wow.
Right. And that's something funny. Nobody is above this. Everybody thinks that they're an exception to the rules until something happens to you and it goes wild online. And all of a sudden people start jumping ship and going off the rails and just making up shit that never happened and adding and making it's almost like fan fiction.
Yeah, it is. This is an illustration of what we talk about on the show. Because I'm like, to me, I saw that and was like, there's a lot I don't know there.
And kept it pushing.
Unless somebody's gonna pull up some people speaking on this, I'm not assuming anything. Just, oh man, that's crazy. What a crazy coincidence. So in short, he's a bad parent. How do you fuck off relationships with 3 of your children? I'm not sure what you're defending here or why. It's at least 4 children. There's Brian Jr., Nico, Brianna, and he has another daughter who is still a minor that he isn't claiming, but is 100% his and knows her. He's her dad. Okay, is this whose ghost account is this? And potentially 2 other sons, one named Clyde, one named Evan, still verifying proof of paternity. See, this is another thing I think about a lot. Whose personal gripe is this? Because the same thing with David Cho. I really do feel like it'd be a person that's like, no one's even thinking about Brian McKnight today. Whatever this happened in January. But today is my day to get in that ass and get everybody harassing this man. Because none of y'all knew those last things I just said. And we still don't know it because it was just a tweet. We still don't know any of that is true. That's crazy.
Right. Nobody's throwing proof or saying proof or anything. They just talking.
I thought Brian McKnight was a regular deadbeat, not a colorist anti-black deadbeat.
Oh, that's another level deadbeat, apparently.
Oh my God. I don't know, man. Here's a post from Julie McKnight. What is this one from? How old is it? Sorry, I gotta do my research now. This is from a day ago. Okay, so maybe we're gonna get some passive aggressive confirmation, everybody.
Okay.
It's impossible to explain the love that I have for my sons. I would give the last breath of my lungs for them. I will fight ferociously on their behalf. I'm certain that these are the sentiments most mothers share. I'd never imagined loving children that I hadn't birthed just as much I love my sons. I soon realized that loving my son's sisters came just as naturally as breathing. First, a beautiful little 4-year-old girl danced in our lives and called me mommy. Next, another perfect little girl who wore the same face as her older siblings, 3 mothers, 3 women who initially were only connected by the seed of one man. We have now become a family of support and love for our children. We are mama bears. So maybe no, that feel, I know it's nebulous, but it do feel like she kind of want to be like, he ain't shit, y'all. Now, I mean, there's a lot of reasons she could say he's not shit that don't have anything to do with anti-blackness. Could be he was cheating and had that break baby on her, and she just don't fuck with him off of GP. It, doesn't all have to be doesn't all have to be conspiratorial,
Agreed.
But yes, I'm trying to see now. I'm on her page looking at the other post. She's not talking about nothing else. She's just promoting stuff. All right, I don't blame you, girl. I wouldn't let these niggas change my day. So let's see. Okay, 2019, Madame Noir reported that the singer's daughter, Brianna McKnight, publicly spoke about Brian's absence in her family's lives. Okay, now thank you, Madame Noir and Bossip, for going and finding the proof, because
right, these people online, they were just making shit up.
They just not presenting any proof and then being like, I can't see how y'all defending this, man. It's like, I'm asking you, did this happen?
Right.
Nobody understands what I've been through except my siblings, she wrote. Despite the financial support Brian may have provided, his only biological daughter, she said, grew up thinking he doesn't want to come visit me because he doesn't love me. And then she posted a long thing on Instagram from 44 weeks ago. Taking the time to heal from past trauma situations that made me someone I didn't want to be, focusing on healing, learning how to properly love myself and the new person I want to be in the world, constantly seeking external validation online and in real life was killing me, making it hard for me to be my authentic self. I'm working to change my narrative in all aspects of life. For you're home free when others' perceptions of you are no longer the forefront of your mind. Self-worth is, this isn't about Brian McKnight at all. All right, not really sure. What's that proof? Something, yeah, that post isn't proof, but then the article says that she said that when she was still a teen in high school, she said her father hadn't called for her birthday in years. So all right, so it look like Brian McKnight ain't shit. Oh well, no sweat off my stack. I didn't lose anything. I'll just have one last cry about it and then move on. I'm gonna be honest. Ever since Show Me How Your Pussy Work, this man has never crossed my mind anytime.
Nope.
Okay. the Trump to sit down with CNN and implicit dig at Fox. Kind of explains some of the goings on of CNN.
Yep.
Some of the voices they wanted to move out.
Because people have been talking about that. People have been like, hey, dog, we see y'all slowly pushing the niggas out. Like, what's happening over there? Y'all don't want people to talk about political shit. Okay, now.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's just more interesting because it tells you about the people that run the network.
Mm-hmm.
Trump equal ratings.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the stuff they were doing before, you know, having Republicans on and Don Lemon would smack them down with the truth, kind of goes against everything Trump is and stands for and everything that helps get him ratings. And with him being out of the spotlight, I feel like CNN would like to put him back in it. Like it would be beneficial to the network. And it sounds like the dude at the top is much less, or not even less. He's openly like, I don't really have a dog in the fight of politics. I want ratings. And if anything, I would like our network to sound a little bit more conservative than it has been sounding, because the people kicking our ass in the ratings are conservative. So we need to get them. We need to get Don Lemon out of here, get Charles Barkley in. You know, let's sit down with Donald Trump. You know, and Donald Trump is thinking, yeah, fuck these other networks. What I find funny is that he's talked so much shit about CNN throughout his presidency. Fake news, all this shit. And keep in mind, he's going to probably talk shit when they interview him again this time.
Of course.
But it's interesting that he's so transparent because he always is. He's not like a clever man. He's just an evil man. This is all about shitting on Fox News.
Yes. Yes, it is. It's all about shitting on Fox News.
Like, oh, y'all gonna kick Tucker off the air. Y'all ain't gonna y'all gonna stop talking about
Fox is like, we got enough lawsuits. We can't have you over here too.
Yeah. All right, they're like Fox, but Fox would have had him back, I think. But they're just not in his camp anymore in his mind. And Tucker Carlson was a dude that he took advice from and shit. You know, a dude that at least played the part on the air, even though he didn't even like Trump. You know, it's crazy that, you know, he's doing this. It relates to this next article. Americans fault news media for dividing nation.
I do.
When it comes to the news media and the impact it's having on democracy and political polarization in the United States, Americans are likelier to say it's doing more harm than good. Nearly 3/4 of U.S. adults say the news media is increasing political polarization in this country, and just under half say they have little to no trust in the media's ability to report on the news fairly and accurately. That's interesting because, you know, a lot of that is Republican people that don't like when the media tells the truth. So I don't, you know, it's like, how many of those are people who are actually like upset with the media in the ways that me and you are, or that, right, you know, where it's like, I don't like that y'all bring on a GOP person to lie.
I like, just give me facts.
And then sit them across from Rachel Maddow and act like it's two sides of the same coin.
Act like we're having a real debate when you're not.
Yeah, so like, I'm not sure, because other people are like, I don't like the liberal biased media saying Trump didn't win the election. And I'm like, I don't think that poll vote should count the same as mine.
No, because those two things are different.
Yeah. And I mean, they're not wrong about some of the general themes. I do think our media now is designed to make you mad. It's designed to shock, and it's why the bottom scroll of every media channel is constantly moving with alert, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news.
Yeah, if it ain't scrolling across the bottom, it's on the sides. A lot of them are blinking and flashing and shit like it's stocks and bonds. You're like, the fuck is this?
Yeah, and it's breaking news for shit that's not breaking or news.
Right.
You know, breaking news. Pop-Tarts more popular than toaster strudel. It's like, why did that stop?
Breaking news. Captain Crunch ain't a captain.
Breaking news. The Warriors still play the Lakers tonight at 8. Like, that's not breaking news. We knew that before we turned the channel to you. So I do think that's what the things that bother me. But I think there's a lot of stuff that I don't trust with this poll, which is ironic, right? But I don't trust, and this is in the AP, by the way. I don't really trust with the poll because I would need to know the methodology of the people in the poll, and I don't think one comment is gonna gather it up. I also think there's a bunch of breakdowns with like white folks and stuff, where white people, they really value civility over even a disagreement, even a polite
Mm-hmm.
disagree. Like they value the polite in disagreement. There you go. Where you're gonna have white Democrats that say stuff like, yeah, it just makes everybody mad for no reason. You're like, yeah, but there is a reason.
Right, there is a reason.
Like, and there, to me, there's a valid reason. Like, getting mad that they're burning books and passing transphobic laws is a different type of anger to me than getting mad because you believe John Walsh when he said there are litter boxes in every school bathroom in America because the teachers let the kids dress up as furries. To me, those two types of anger are not the same. Those two types of riled up are not the same. And so I think when you're talking to whiteness in general, it becomes very like it's all the same. I'm mad, you're mad, we shouldn't be mad. And it's like,
nah, that's not how that works, dog.
Yeah. So but yeah, I don't know. That now I'm looking at this poll, I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't know, because like I said, you can't if you don't watch out for the people that I'm like, those motherfuckers are crazy. I just don't even know how this poll makes any sense.
Agreed.
Like you should have to have a couple starter questions like 75% of the people we polled said they don't believe Trump lost the election. I'm like, oh well, fuck this poll.
Right.
FX's Dear Mama docuseries breaks records as most watched unscripted series premiere ever. It's the one about Tupac and his mom.
Oh, okay. I hadn't watched it. I don't. Knowing me, I probably won't.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. I may watch it. I may not. I feel weird saying this, but a few people may relate to what I'm saying. I've never really gotten a fascination with Tupac as a person. Like, and it's not like a negative thing of like, I didn't like him. I have no feelings. Like, I don't dislike him. Right. I think it's tragic how he died.
Same.
I also just remember being alive at that time and being like, someone's gonna kill this nigga. Mm-hmm. I also remember, like I'll never be able, because I remember it at the time. Not this ain't some retroactive shit. I remember trying to figure out how people were so comfortable with the idea that he held down a woman and she was sexually assaulted. Like, and he went to like jail for that shit, and it just was. Like, I don't know. I guess it's just normal. It's like people talked about him like when Derrick Rose, the basketball player, had won like 6th Man of the Year or Comeback Player of the Year, and it was like we don't talk about that one thing. And I always felt like, man, that looms over his head, especially as a guy that people want to paint as like sensitive, and people want to paint as like deep, and people want to paint as like for his songs like Dear Mama and Brenda's Got a Baby on, it always felt incongruent, but I get it. Who got time to be mad about that shit all the time? And I'm definitely not mad about it. It just was one of those things that stuck out to me. And here's the reason why, the main reason. As I've gotten older, I've watched people hold people that aren't Tupac to a standard of like, if you do you could say something,
right?
You could make a blog, you could make a post on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And they're so rigidly like, no.
Yes, I don't understand it. And it's people of a certain age. It's like, okay, you don't know these niggas, so it's easy for you just to cut them off and not give a fuck and act like everybody, under the age of 25 just ain't shit. It's really easy for quote unquote you to say that, but when we start talking about your shit and how all jokes are how fucked up, misogynistic, homophobic, and all the shit that we listen to, all of a sudden what we do and what we said in our time is an exception to the rules. It is not.
Yeah, it's like all those dudes, Big Pun, Biggie, like all those dudes were like, not all. I shouldn't say all. All is too much, but a lot of the popular ones weren't just like rapping about misogyny like Drake. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to like make up a conspiracy that something was happening with them and an underage woman. You know what I'm saying? Like it like, or underage woman, him and a girl. You didn't have to make something up like that. You just had all the proof there, and wasn't just in the raps. It's like they would tell you. They interview people, and
they would be getting arrested.
Everybody knows Biggie beat Faith. There's a video of Big Pun beating up his wife. There, Tupac got convicted, and I to me, I never felt like it was wrong to move on from that. I mean, or to say these guys did these terrible things, but it's just entertainment to us or whatever. I get that. I still feel that way to this day, honestly, with a lot of shit where I'm like, oh, a terrible person made this. All right, well, that's too bad.
Like and so for me personally, it's one of those things where I understand people's righteousness. I understand everybody's lives is different, but my personal belief, there are people that do great things that you like, love, and enjoy that ain't shit. And those two things can be separate. You know, now there are some times where I have my lines where I go, no, this is too far for me.
Everybody opts out where they opt out, but I think until social media, you didn't see like this pressure and condemnation of people as if they were supporting the acts themselves.
Right.
Like I've never met a person that liked Tupac and went, oh, because you like people that hold people down or they're being sexual assaulted. No, that doesn't even sound reasonable in my mind.
No,
I never would say that to somebody, but I also wouldn't say that if they said they like XXXTentacion.
Correct.
You know, I wouldn't, like, if my niece was listening to that, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, what? So you just okay with that? But that, like, maybe we just got old and became our parents.
Right.
But I've always found that cognitive dissonance to be remarkable because in many ways, Tupac was the antithesis of what these people claim to be about right now. And yet they deify him. They love him to this day.
Don't want you to bring
and these numbers prove that. We are fascinated by this man and we always will be.
Right.
Even as we denigrate the people who do the same shit now. And as if they're scourges of the community. And if you like them, you must be okay with all the stuff they do. And I've just never subscribed to that, and I just wanted to make that point about that article.
Same.
All right, let's get into some other news. I don't even know what section I want to do. How about white people news?
White people news. Exciting to the barbecue. We might be problematic or a little bit stiff. The sun's really harsh on our fragile pieces. White people do.
Miley Cyrus's mom, Tish, is engaged to Prison Break star Dominic Purcell. 8 months after ex Billy Ray popped the question the singer Fire Rose. The Tish, 55, made a big announcement on Saturday, posting the happy news on Instagram with a pair of loved up pictures that showed off her brand new sparkler. Okay, stunt on us, Tish. Okay, we love to see it. 1,000 times yes at Dominic Purcell, wrote the bride to be. There she is. Man, Miley do look like her mama. And shout out to my man. I mean, the biggest credit he got is Prison Break, and he bagged Tish.
Ooh, that is a rock.
Yeah. Okay. Now he afforded that rock. Now that's an investment because Tish got the money.
Right.
Okay. So you got to do what you got to do, player. Okay. Dominic said, I'm not fitting to let this good just because Billy Ray don't know a good thing.
Right.
Don't mean I don't. Yeah, they apparently they got divorced in 2022. So it's 2023. They already both booed up. Tish filed for divorce from Billy Ray, citing irreconcilable differences. In the court filing, she noted that she had not cohabitated. They had not cohabitated as man and wife for a continuous period of more than 2 years. Before their final divorce, Billy Ray filed divorce papers October 2010 before dropping the file in March 2011. Tish filed for her own divorce documents in June 2013, but then they reconciled a month later and started after attending couples therapy.
And that's why they tell people you have to be separate and all that shit for a certain period of time, because they like, hey, we know that people get back together all of the time before we actually make this official.
They got 5 kids. Miley, Brandy, Trace, Brayson, and Noah.
I didn't know they had 5 kids.
And yeah, it sounds like Miley is like the middle kid, kind of. Well, look, good for her. And like I said, good for him. I think you might know this actor. I feel like I didn't get the response that I thought I would get out of you when I showed him to you. I'm gonna show you more pictures of him, and I think you'll know what you recognize him for if you don't recognize. I know Prison Break was a long time ago, but we watch a bunch of shows.
I know that dude. He's on Legends of Tomorrow.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He came up.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Like he did it.
Okay. Okay. And maybe it was just the way it was angled, but yes.
I knew you knew him. So that was some white people news with some people you did know.
Yes, I know that dude. He did Prison Break.
Yeah. An Aussie tourist is very sorry for the drunken rampage he went on in Indonesia.
Oh shit! What you doing over in Indonesia acting a fool?
Yeah, mate. I do like that you can just be very sorry, you know?
Police say Bodie Marnie Risby Jones was drunk on.
First of all, Bodie Marnie Risby Jones is the most Australian name.
Hell, but ain't it?
I honestly, you can't make that up. If you told me that was the lead star's name from Crocodile Dundee, I would say, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I believe.
Bodie Marty Risby Jones.
Risby Jones was drunk. Say Bodie Marnie Risby Jones was drunk on vodka and naked when he emerged from his room at the Moon Beach Resort and began hitting everyone he passed, including a security guard.
He was gone naked, and he said everybody to pass him. You get some, and you get some.
In Australia, we just call that hello. Foster's, Australian for bear.
Aceh is the one province in Indonesia under Sharia law. Alcohol is completely banned and people are regularly caned for adultery.
Oh, he finna get it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man. You ain't even supposed to have alcohol over there? It's Sharia law over there? And you out here getting drunk talking about what the five fingers say to the face? Bruh. You definitely getting caned.
Homosexuality, or if they're caught drinking.
He was enraged and caused a scene. He hit a security guard and walked out of the resort and ran amok, hitting every motorbike rider he encountered.
One man was knocked off his bike and needed 50 stitches in his ankle.
God
Other victims
damn!
were so angry they threatened to burn the resort down. The 23-year-old carpenter from Noosa says he was wearing underwear and only drank one small shot of vodka.
Okay. Two things I don't believe. That man had on any clothes. And that he drank one shot of vodka and started acting like that.
They was like, we got to get you out of here. Them people was like, well, burn this motherfucker down if y'all don't get him out of here.
I do appreciate that. They don't play over there. They were like, where we are canceling the hotel, literally. Where does he stay?
Right? He knocked somebody over. They had to get 50 stitches in their ankle.
They're like, who gave this motherfucker the shot of vodka? They going too. They going jail too.
I mean, 50 stitches, shit. Did he take off the whole ankle? Goddamn. Ankle was so big.
Bring the bartender outside.
But had sunstroke from surfing the day before.
I feel like not myself, like almost possessed.
Yes.
Not a good feeling.
Yes.
I wasn't myself. Normally I'm a very nice guy.
Okay.
Yes.
When you attack Mr. Radion after any hospital,
Yes.
have you remember?
Not really, not much at all. I got hit a lot of times on the ground. People kicked my head.
I mean,
you smacking every motorist that ride past you, and somebody got to get stitches. So they might hit you back.
That's the concussion talk.
Make me forget a bit. But like I'm a really nice guy and I never want to hurt people, never. So it was very out of character for me. I've never done that before.
Mr. Risby, what you drink at night?
Not much at all. We were at the pool.
Now this is Here's what I think he should do: convert to Islam. Maybe you got a chance. You know, you maybe you just go ahead and start saying some stuff about converting to Islam, bro. Because I think you're going to jail.
Face is flogging.
Yeah,
I think he gonna get flogged.
I think he gonna get flogged. I think he gonna get flogged.
And we had a duty-free bottle of vodka.
Vodka.
I only had one shot though, just one.
Lies.
Had one shot.
I'm starting to feel floggy.
Put out the flogs so we can flog him.
Checking out the weather report. It's a 90% chance of the flog in the morning.
It's flogging in the skies.
Yeah,
flogging on the horizon.
You feeling floggy, then jump. That's what they say.
One shot.
I think. Half.
Oh, just tiny bit. Not much. Tiny bit. Yeah. One shot.
Oh yes.
And then I was surfing a lot the day before.
What was in the shot? Fentanyl, nigga. Why are you beating people up?
Beating everybody up, which means people are like riding motor vehicles and shit, and you're like, oh, you get some. Some of the people stopped, and he was like, I felt him kicking me in the head. Yes, because they was like,
he literally is what the protagonist of Grand Theft Auto must feel in the video game when you control him. Because Grand Theft Auto, you can like beat people up, jump in their cars, slap people, run around naked. And then what happens? You get killed, quote unquote, but you wake up in the hospital with 1% health. And I think that's what happened. He woke up in the hospital the next day with 1% health and was like, I don't know what the fuck happened last night.
With his 1% bar. And the people was like, oh, word, you want to hit people? We'll show you. And the hotel people was like, we got to get him out of here. We can't have them burn the whole hotel down because you out here acting the fool.
I don't know who was holding my controller last night.
So I had like a sunstroke, not enough drinking water.
Okay.
So it was a lot of things, and then I felt really bad.
Mr. Ribi, what you usually drink vodka? Usually? Vodka?
No, never. Yes. Normally not drink much in Australia.
What you usually drink?
Beer. Beer sometimes in Australia. Yeah.
Oh, beer.
Is it Foster's?
But not much.
Hey,
it'd be amazing if this is all an elaborate ad for Foster's.
Drink Foster's, not vodka.
Man, white people, boy. Be careful. Don't take no shots of vodka out there, white people. In other countries, y'all can't help yourselves. Nia Long shares a cryptic post about revenge after Ime Udoka affair. She said, the best revenge is no revenge. Move on. Be happy.
Okay.
All right. I agree with it. Low key. Although I do wonder if she's gearing us up for her reveal of staying with him. I do wonder. You never know. You never know. Khloe Kardashian shares new batch of unedited bikini photos taken by her sister Kendall Jenner as fans praise her for displaying cellulite after posting flawless snaps. This is interesting because unedited is in quotes in this article. Like they don't even believe that shit. Yeah, she says unedited. She didn't put it through 12 photoshops, just 3. But yeah, she posted these pics. And I guess, yeah, it doesn't look like they smoothed everything out and stuff. She still looks hot, in all the traditional ways that we talk about. Surgery still popping, all that shit, But this is the thing that's always crazy to me. And it's us as fans and people that are the problem. But we at the same time mock the celebrities for smoothing out the wrinkles in their knees when they post shit, no cellulite, no stretch marks,
double chins.
Yeah, all that stuff. We mock them for being fake. But at the same time, we normally do talk shit about them for being human, right? It is like this, oh, this bitch got actual folds in her fat. And you're like, doesn't everybody?
Yeah, everybody else. The fuck we talking
remember the Nicki Minaj cover? This happened when we started podcast a long time ago. She had a cover promoting a single or album or something. And it was so photoshopped that she didn't, even though she was turned like this, she didn't even have like a wrinkle in her skin in her back. For like, it was just photo for no reason.
For no
And
reason,
you know,
right.
to me, I'm like, okay, but if I get it, because you would clown her for having that fold in her back, but not everybody, but like enough assholes would say some dumb shit. So then you filter it out, but then a lot of us other assholes are like, look at this shit, you know. Plus she also has talked about like she's gotten busted posting fake pics a lot. And I think she's talked about her issues with her body and being mocked and all this stuff about it. And you know, it's just for a lot of us, it's hard to imagine somebody with that many followers, money, and fame that could feel self-conscious about it. But at the same time,
they're not human.
But at the same time, we all know they do, because we talk about how much they Photoshop and edit and alter their bodies and stuff. So we know it comes from somewhere, but we rarely. It's like if they admit it, we will never admit our part, the part we play in it.
Yes, and just us as human, they have all kinds of apps and filters, and I've used them before too, where even just a normal person with a free app can, like, you know, make their skin do all types of things and lighten up their skin. And there's some people who, whenever they post stuff, they go, "Oh, I don't post my regular face online." They'd be the first thing to tell you that. It was like, no, unless it's a filter, what is we doing?
Yep, white people news, guys. Let's see. Nicole Peltz and her family slam malicious and mean-spirited wedding planners.
Oh, what happened? What the wedding planners do, baby?
Nicola Peltz and her family have put out a new legal filing against the wedding planners. The court documents filed Thursday in Miami are the latest in a bitter legal spat between the Transformers movie star, her billionaire father, and the second of 3 wedding planners Nicola and husband Brooklyn Beckham went through for their lavish nuptials in April. Nelson Peltz, Nicola's billionaire investor father and chairman of the fast food firm chain Wendy's. Oh man, it's not Dave no more because he passed.
All right. For some reason, don't ask me why. He go forever on Wendy's to me.
Sued planners Nicole Bragan and Ariana Grijalba in December, claiming they botched preparation for the $3.5 million 500 guest nuptials and refused to refund the $159,000 deposit when he fired them just after 8 days. The women hit back in a 188-point counterclaim last month against Nelson, his wife, and daughter, calling him a bully billionaire, dishing details on the event's plans, including an alleged $100,000 hair and makeup bill, and exposing hundreds of text messages that showed Nicola firing off orders and criticizing their design suggestions. I mean, isn't that kind of what they do, though? The people that pay for the wedding? I don't know. I didn't have a wedding. What do I know?
Yeah, I don't know either.
I've just always gotten that from TV. Everybody's a bridezilla or whatever. Now the Peltz's lawyer have lodged new court documents demanding Nicola and her mother Claudia be removed from the case because they undisputedly are not parties to the wedding planner contract. Peltz attorney Michael Kreitzer wrote in the filing that divulging the embarrassing text was a desperate effort to distract from their own failure to accomplish anything of substance in the short time they purported to act as a replacement wedding planners. He called the inclusion of Nicola and Claudia as defendants salacious, meritless, and legally deficient, frivolous, and even good old-fashioned shakedown. Wow. Sound like Stephen A. Smith ranting about the Knicks. In the filing, the Peltzes accused Bragan and Grijalba and their company Plan Design Events of providing no services of value. Damn. Woo. White people insults different. Your business provides no services of value. They attach it. They attach an invoice from the planners claiming PDE charged the billionaire family $181,000 for 10 18-hour days plus expenses on top of the $159,000 deposit. Both Nelson 80 and PDE's legal complaints reveal eye-opening details from the frantic weeks before the April 9th wedding at the $90 million family mansion in Palm Beach, Florida. Celebrity guests included Gordon Ramsay, Eva Longoria, Brooklyn's mother Victoria Beckham. That shouldn't count. That's his mama. It's a wedding. You don't book your mom. You know what I'm saying? She's coming, guys. Also, her fellow former Spice Girls, Mel B and Mel C. David Beckham's Manchester United teammate Phil Neville, Venus and Serena, and of course Michael Bay. In a group text with the planners, Nicola wrote that her friend, celebrity magician David Blaine, will perform magic at the tables. Is that what he's been reduced to? Damn. Chris Angel would never play her. Okay.
Never.
This nigga David Blaine at the table, pick a card, any card.
Oh no!
What's that behind your ear? Like, nigga, ain't you David Blaine? Make the table disappear some shit.
I got your nose.
I want to wake up and have punched everybody at my hotel. Like, do a magic trick for real. If you're not doing the kind of magic trick that makes Serena and Venus run away from the party, I don't want to see it. David Blaine, nigga, unless he was going to be trapped in the center of a piece of ice that slowly melted at the reception, I am disgusted with this man.
I am disgusted.
For real. Remember, he used to be the shit. He used to he's going to be suspended in a block of ice over the World Trade Center or something like. You like, what? Why would anyone do that? He gonna walk across a building on a plane because what, dude? You doing weddings? You're doing weddings, dude. I don't even care how expensive the weddings are. You do you're a magician at a wedding and you're David Blaine.
Right.
That don't make sense. Oh my God, David Blaine, no. She insisted that the band wear plain chic tuxes and said the music should be early 2000s hip hop, rejecting the suggestion for anything more traditional. I mean, that doesn't seem like it needs to cost $181,000 for those demands. But then two, doesn't seem crazy to me. No, doesn't seem like a bridezilla. The couple plan to serve guest burgers named Brooklyn and Nicola. The latter wrapped in a low-calorie lettuce leaf rather than a bun.
Oh, shit now.
Because, women, you got to watch the figure. You got to have a salad, you know what I'm saying, bro? And in one exchange, Nicola sent a picture of an all-pink lounge with the orb light and asked, who is going to make this happen for after the party? This light instead of disco ball. It mixes of peaches, apricot, and baby pink. She also wanted a water out and a matching water dance floor. I do, you know what I think? Happened? I really think she was texting all the ideas as they came to her.
Okay, I can see that.
And I bet you that made them be like, are you fucking crazy? You know what I'm saying? Because,
yeah.
At least I know when we planned our live show and we had an event organizer, you have meetings. You save the ideas and talk to them. But I bet you when you spend that kind of money, you feel like this motherfucker on my beck and call. I don't care if you're on a date. I don't care if you. Yeah,
you know. I'm pretty sure they had the meetings, but I'm pretty sure they was getting texts at 2 and 3 in the morning, like whenever the idea. That was like, the fuck is this?
Now I'm making this up, but that's the vibe I get. Is because when you look at this, it doesn't seem like like the texts are coordinated. It seemed like you just thought of it, like, oh, I know. We'll have a water slide, but instead of water, it's all chocolate. And it'll be warm, melting chocolate, and we're gonna slide down it. And then then we're gonna have pieces of stuff you can put it on. It's gonna be like the fondue fountain, and then the other slide, it's gonna be cheese. You see, I'm gonna text her right now, tell her this. It's like, what?
and wait. It got to be at least 6 feet tall.
At least 6 feet deep for the cheese. And for the lactose intolerant people, we'll have Jell-O. So you slide into some Jell-O. It's like, can we not talk about this Friday?
Right. Ain't we scheduled to talk to y'all at 12 o'clock on Friday? Can we wait till then?
The base motel star demanded staff hired by previous wedding planners be cut off if one of many blunt texts saying, I hate them. Can we fire them yet? Nicola also slammed the second planners for mistakes in the guest list, including over F1 race champion Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton did not RSVP, so explain why his name's on the list, please. We spoke to him. He can't come, so explain why you said he RSVP. Yes, one irate text from the actress read. I'm tired of catching mistakes on this RSVP list. Honestly, when will I get a straight answer on this? And she seemed to end it with a period and not a question. Brigham also allegedly was reduced to tears by the stress of the project. Brooklyn called it a mess in text, and Nicola said it was more like a murder scene. The planners claimed at one point Nelson wanted to cancel the wedding and allegedly call it a shit show, but his wife begged him not to, as it would destroy Nicola's career. PDE claimed
canceling the wedding would destroy the daughter's career.
I don't know, Karen. I feel like weddings are part of the career plan for these socialite ass niggas. It's like, what you want me to get a movie based on my talent? No, I'm a fucking the famous people's daughter, and the biggest talent I got is making sure everybody's wedding invite is right at my wedding. You know, my daddy's a billionaire. All right, I'm marrying the motherfucking heir to the Beckham fortune and shit. Like, this is my life. You think I got in Transformers because I was the best motherfucker at audition? No. I said, Daddy, I'd like to act. And he said, I'll call Michael Bay.
Yes.
He owes me a favor.
And that's how they got the role.
Michael, you know how you need a budget for $70 billion worth of explosions because you don't know how to put a plot together? I got a deal for you. Put my daughter in the movie. I'll get you some of that money. You blow up the whole fucking bridge for all I care.
Right? Blow it all up.
You know how you said it's hard to get people to do racist voices for your Transformers? Well, I got you covered. I got the money that'll get it. I don't give a damn who it is. We'll get you some famous blacks. We'll get you JB Smooth to be one of the Transformers.
Mm-hmm. I ain't even mad. Get your check. They'd have paid me. I showed up.
We're making the black Transformers that can't read.
Oh no, and they did. Oh, no.
Like, that's how we gonna get you, Michael. And so yeah, if you make Michael Bay come to your daughter's wedding because you're gonna undergird his Transformers movies, and then your daughter abruptly cancels the wedding, it's like maybe you're gonna hold a grudge. You already made him put her in the movie, you know. So I get it. This is her. She can't not get this right. PD's complaint claimed Nelson paid more than $100,000 plus travel expenses for Nicola's hair and makeup services for the wedding, and that Claudia mentioned to bragging that Nelson could not know the cost or he would kill her and be so mad. The Pelses were also afraid of Victoria Beckham finding out about mistakes in the wedding planning, according to PDE, amid reporting tense relations between the two families. This should be a TV show.
All right.
It's a lot of drama.
All
right. So yeah, it seemed like it was a lot of drama with the whites that week.
Apparently so.
You know, there's a lot of money for a fucking wedding too. Like the deposit was $139,000. You in court fighting over it too? Woo. All right, let's see what we're looking like on time. Oh my God, it's already an hour and a half. We'll do one more white people. All right. Mark Anthony, 54, expecting his 7th child with 4th wife Nadia Ferreira, 23. They shared baby news just 2 weeks after lavish A-list wedding. Oh, so there's a shotgun wedding. Got it. All right, we can skip this one. Hailey Bieber jets off to Cabo with pals amid Selena Gomez feud.
Oh shit!
Is Selena the one we not supposed to like? I be getting so confused.
Know. I don't.
Is she the front niggas gave me heebie-jeebies? Or somebody else, y'all, in the chat? Y'all know.
I don't know.
They keep up with it, Karen. I know these petty motherfuckers.
I know I don't.
They don't move on from shit. They just listen to the show, you know. But y'all update me in the chat. Is Selena the one I'm supposed to not like? I feel like Tay Tay is taking Selena. She was Cuban racist. I don't know what that means. All right. The 26-year-old model was photographed on a tropical getaway in Cabo San Lucas according to a group of friends, amid her ongoing feud with Selena Gomez. Now, Hailey Bieber is Justin Bieber's wife and one of the Baldwins, I think, like one of the offspring of the Baldwins. The 26-year-old model was photographed on a tropical island. Okay, Bieber rocked a lime green bikini, matching swim shorts, and a red baseball hat as she basked in the sun while sipping on cocktails over the weekend.
Oh shit!
They must not have been that strong. I didn't hear about her slapping random people on the bikes.
Nobody got 50 stitches.
Yeah,
and then you wouldn't drinking.
Everybody ankle safe. Somebody need to spike those drinks. Despite being under public scrutiny in recent weeks, the Road Skin founder was all smiles as she played water games with her gal pals. There she is in the pool, letting you see them cakes. Though her husband, Justin Bieber, who seems to be at the center of Hailey and Gomez's feud, did not join his wife on vacation. She seemed to be having a great time chatting and laughing with friends. Her girls trip comes after Hailey had her to limit her comments on social media due to all the backlash she was getting for seemingly shading Gomez 30 online. In January, Hailey posted a video mouthing along the trending audio. I'm not saying she deserved it, but God timing is always right. The same week that Gomez was body shamed by trolls. Ooh! Oh, the girls are fighting. The following month, Gomez reacted to the since deleted video, writing, "It's okay. I don't let these things get me down. Be nice to everyone." That's like white celebrity speak. But fuck this bitch.
I wouldn't have took it down. I wouldn't have took it down.
She called her the C word in white celebrity speak. That's what she did. When she said, she said, "It's okay. I don't let those things get me down. Be nice to everyone." They never mean that. A few weeks later, fans grew outraged after the model and her BFF Kylie Jenner seemingly made fun of Gomez once again. After the Who Said singer admitted to messing up her eyebrows, Jenner, 25, posted a photo of her own eyebrows on her Instagram story, writing, "This was an accident." To make matters worse, she also posted a screenshot of a FaceTime call with Hailey, who also showed a close-up of her bushy brows.
Eyebrow shaming.
They done took it to the brows. This is some lowbrow entertainment.
Yeah, definitely not highbrow comedy here.
Since then, social media users have been calling out Hailey for copying Gomez on several things, including getting the letter G tattooed on her in the same spot behind the ear. Now, why the letter G? Yet in a strange turn of events, fans dug up some old Hailey tweets in which she seemingly supported Gomez and Justin's former relationship. The pair dated on and off for almost a decade before breaking up in 2018, 4 months before the Peaches singer, 28, proposed to Hailey. "I'm for sure 100% team #Jessica," Hailey said in 2011. "I don't care what anyone says. Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez together is the definition of a teenage dream. #word," she wrote a few months later. Well, to me, that just means like she's always had an eye on him, you know? And Selena mistook that and lost out on her man, you know? She wasn't ever team you, girl. She was team you leaving Justin. You see what I'm saying? Don't fall for it. Your hater be right there patting your back.
Patting your back the whole time.
Okay.
Looking to take your space. Shout out to Martha Stewart.
Come on. Selena Gomez is so cute. Don't argue. Bye. Another tweet stated. Gomez has since announced that she's taking a social media break after clapping back at Hailey on another resurfaced video where the model made gagging motions after the actress's bestie Taylor Swift's name was mentioned. Now, why is Tay Tay in it? What she do?
What did she do?
Now, see, I was team Selena Gomez just now, and now I'm off of it. You could have left Tay Tay out of this.
I'm focused, and I will continue to focus.
Yeah, I would not be supporting any of the work that these people do that I've never supported or seen. What do they make? Music or something? Oh, they just white. White people news.
Ba-da-da.
All right, that's it. Let's go into a sword ratchetness, everybody. Armed police swoop on drunk man who attacked hallway with samurai sword.
Attacked hallway? What the hallway? He think he dead? What's happening here?
The hallway. Why am I in it?
Right?
Armed police swooped on a man who attacked a hallway wall in a block of flats with the samurai sword after downing a bottle of Christmas bonus wine from his employer. First of all, you know how we know this didn't happen in America? It definitely happened in the UK. Christmas bonus wine?
Bonus wine, my nigga.
Nigga, is that what like Ebenezer Scrooge gives out instead of actual money? I feel like you can't even say Christmas bonus wine without saying it in an English accent. It's like, oh, do you have some more Christmas bonus wine, father? Yes, you can have some, Tiny Tim. You know, we drink at the age of 10 here. Just a sip of wine will do you good. Robert Fairhurst was arrested on his top floor flat at Daffodil Court. Oh,
that street name.
This story is so adorable.
It's adorable and dangerous all at the same time. Dangerous for the wall. The wall took an L for no reason.
We got Christmas bonus wine.
Come on, Daffodil Street.
We got Daffodil Court. We got some hobbits coming across the prairie.
I would love to be on Daffodil Lane.
Yeah, we got the hobbits coming across the Shire in the second half of the story.
Come on.
After an alarmed resident spotted him staggering in the middle of the road. Oh, he's all hopped up on that Christmas bonus wine.
Mm-hmm. He sure went vodka.
That's what the Australian dude should have said. I didn't have much alcohol, just some Christmas bonus wine. It's like, oh, why did you say so? Well, shit. Yeah, we all been there.
About that.
Yeah, well, fuck, man. I'm not even worried about my ankles. Don't worry about these stitches. Christmas bonus wine. But yeah, Michael Caine, prosecuting of North Cheshire magistrates. I hope it was the Michael Caine we know.
I hope so.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wayne. I hope it was him. I couldn't do that. Anyway, how witness Susan McPolin had heard a sound like plastic hitting the ground, turned around and saw him put a sword in a case. Fairhurst, also known as Robert Stewart, why he got so many names, was messing with the handle and put the sword inside his jacket. Oh. She went into the shop and this nigga thought he was Trunks. She went into the shop and when they came out, she saw him again by the junction of Pear Tree Avenue and Thorn Road.
Oh, these names.
Oh, yeah, that's where Harry Potter was killed. His parents.
These names.
At Thorn Road and Pear Tree Avenue. And he who shall not be named came into and there's a book written by She Who Shall Not Be Named.
Right?
Where he bent down, pulled the sword out from under a car. It had a blue handle and a red cord hanging from the handle. The woman and her daughter headed back to the shop and said what they had seen before looking out and seeing Fairhurst standing by a block of flats and looking up. CCTV had spotted the defendant waving his arms around, and something was glinting as he did so, and assisted armed police in tracking the defendant to Daffodil Court. Over off Gumdrop Lane.
Over a Lollipop Lookout.
Oh, Sugar Plum Street. It was different.
Over at Strawberry Brook.
So they got the Sunflower Court, and officers were packing heat. They spoke to residents who said they heard loud banging in the block's communal hallways. Now, that means a lot that they were packing heat in UK because they don't all have guns. You got to rent a gun like a library book.
Yes.
As a cop. Like, oh, no, we got a terrorist situation. Hold on. We got to wait for Chippingham to get back and return his gun.
Does it take Apple Pay? I don't know.
Do you have your gun card? You need to scan it real quick. When you go check out a gun at the police station, they'll be like, shh, no talking. May I have 1 9mm, please? And I think I'll need 3 bullets. Officers packing heat spoke to residents who said they heard loud banging on the block's communal hallways. On the top floor, police found a slice in the plasterboard on the corner of a wall. That's like
that poor wall took an L for no reason.
That's like the part in the movies where like you see the claw marks on a tree and you like, oh shit, about to go down.
Mm-hmm.
They knocked at the defendant's flat and Fairhurst answered. They saw the sword in his case and arrested him. Cowards. Let him have a fighting. No, just kidding. Let him get his sword out at least. Damn.
Let him have a fighting chance.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
The defendant said he had drunk a bottle of wine and had been walking around trying to find a bin to put the sword in, but the storage areas were locked. Yeah, but why were you swinging at the walls?
Yeah, and you was at the house. I don't.
Yeah,
get it.
I was just trying to throw the sword away into the wall over and over.
We don't believe you.
The sliced wall belonging to Halton Housing with the damage caused worth £50. Iron Waits, defendant, said his client had drunk a bottle from a box of wine. That was a Christmas gift from Matthew Clark Alcohol Wholesalers, which had been his employer before Fairhouse lost his job.
I wonder why.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I've been reading this whole time. I didn't even think about when did this happen. It happened in February, which means this nigga drank the Christmas wine 2 months late.
He was like, I hold on that to a special occasion.
Yeah, this whole time I've been thinking he was like walking down the street and on Christmas Eve with a hat and shit, you know? Like, nah. They say he had not threatened anyone with the display of the sword. The handle had been detached and his client had not.
I mean, the wall counts.
Right.
Hashtag wall lives matter. I mean, that wall would have something to say. It got sliced up.
Wall lives matter. Also, I would take it as a threat. Like if I'm walking outside my apartment and I see a motherfucker slicing the wall up with a sword, it's a threat to me. I gotta wait for him to personally be like, this is gonna happen to you. Like, I get it. You hitting things that don't feel pain to give me a preview.
Right.
But yeah, it said he also had suffered the breakup of a relationship and job loss.
Oh, 2 for 1. That's why he put out the wine.
It might be why he pulled out the sword too. I mean, maybe that's why she broke up with him. That's how he handled his anger. He was sentenced to 16 weeks in prison, suspended for 12 months, plus a 30-day rehabilitation requirement. She ordered him to ensure the wall was repaired or paid a £50 compensation. Fairhurst must also pay a £115 victim surcharge and £85 prosecution costs.
Oh, every time I turn around, you're going up by the pounds.
And what is a victim surcharge?
The wall.
Okay. Yeah, because it didn't seem like there was a victim. The funds are to be deducted from his universal credit. Man, they do a lot different over there. Sentencing him yesterday, the Judge Knight said, damn, this all sounds made up. Judge Knight?
Where is he on Sugar Plum Lane?
Yeah. He had a helmet on. It sounded like an echo when he was decreeing this thing.
Where's this place at in Smurf Village?
Hear ye. You know what's in your mind, what you are doing with a samurai sword. Members of the public who saw that and a man staggering about on 3 occasions, certainly it caused them alarm. I accept the main eyewitness said she didn't see you threatening or waving a sword around at the time of the that allows me to suspend the custodial sentence. At the time of the incident, Cheshire and North Wales Alliance Armed Policing Unit tweeted that they had arrested a male in a dwelling with a sword. An armed patrol was sighted in the area the following day also. Well, in case he came back, it might be a sword gang.
Be on the lookout.
Be on the lookout. The other Highlander gonna come looking for him.
There can only be one. What is that music? Why did it get cloudy all of a sudden? Where did lightning come from? Have everybody confused and shit.
I'm Lightning McQueen. I'm looking for.
Yes.
That's why he had 2 names, Fairhurst and whatever his other name was. He was a Highlander.
Yes, we just didn't know it.
He actually had many names since he was created. I used to be Thornfell McQueen. Now I go by John Witherington. All right, y'all. That's it.
Yes, it is.
This has been the show.
This has been fun.
Oh, I'm glad you had a good time.
Always.
All right. I think it got a little loosey goosey in the end, but that's when the edible kicked in, and that's fine. All right, everything's all right. We're gonna figure out this Crowdcast thing. It's gonna be.
We will.
It's gonna be fine.
Mhm.
If not, we'll be on YouTube or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll find a platform.
You know, we may have to stop playing music at the beginning to conserve hours. I don't know. We'll find out together, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Until next time, don't forget our sale. Okay, we got a sale going. Check our social medias. We're promoting
Till
it
the 15th.
till the 15th. And don't forget, probably no show tomorrow. All right. So, and I was a guest on a podcast. For fans that are crossover fans of not just the Blackout Tips, but the Firestarter podcast, which one of my favorite podcasts, period. We were on a podcast with all the fans of the show. Now, if you know Firestarter, it was a bit of a sausage fest. And I believe it was because like Charmaine couldn't make it. I think she couldn't make it. And so, Charmaine they refer to her on the show all the time when they talk about how they ain't got no women fans and stuff. But yeah, we did this podcast and it was like Leonard Brothers was there. I'm trying to think of the people y'all know. Some of y'all may know Casey Stork. So we just reminisced about the podcast.
Sound like I had a good time. I love to listen, to y'all and stuff like that. And it's one of the things where it's a running joke that I'm the queen of tanks over there.
Yeah. And so the podcast is called Since We Last Spoke with Danny Foxworth. And I think that episode is called Salutations, which is the way they start every episode of Firestarter. But yeah, man, it's an hour and a half of just us laughing about people that are super fans of that show, laughing about that show. And I'll just hit y'all with the same warning I give everybody. One is the Firestarter podcast is not like our show. So don't, but then I'm a huge fan of them in their show.
They are a lot of fun.
They're part of the reason that I like think about stuff so hard, because sometimes they present a point where I'm like, I didn't think about that. And then sometimes they'll say something that just makes me more adamant in the way I feel. And I'll be like,
agreed.
I feel like, oh, this made my point even sharper because I'm not considering people who say stuff like this. But yeah, shout out to those dudes. And don't forget to check out that podcast if you're crossover fans of us both. All right, until next time, I love you.
Love you too.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night.